All right, here we are at 4931 Nina Marie Drive in Murfreesboro. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, about 1,430 square feet. It was built in 2005. The first thing that I like to do is when I pull up, I get all that information. Me and Kirk already talked about the numbers and the exit strategy. We want to sell this house. So that means it's going to need everything ready for an inspector to come and look at it. So everything that needs to be done has got to be done. So first I see the roof. It definitely needs a pressure wash. There's some shingles missing in the back, so we'll need to replace some of those. It looks good enough to keep. Plus it's a 3-tab chalet shingle. So we should be able to keep it. I'll know more once we pressure wash it. The front of the house, all the vinyl looks pretty tired. We're going to need to pressure wash all that as well, along with this front porch and driveway. The landscape looks pretty good. We'll just need to trim it up, cut in a new line, and put some new mulch down. All the fascia, the siding looks good. The soffit looks nice and tight. I'm looking for anything that the eye can pick up on to see if it needs to be put back, repaired, replaced, any of that. So it all looks good. Now, as far as all this brush goes, we're going to need to trim out all of the trees that look like trash and get rid of them. The gutter looks decent. We'll just need to pressure wash it good. This light can stay. The door looks decent. I look for any kind of cracks around the bottoms, especially right down here. You see any soft wood, you want to feel it just to make sure that it doesn't need to be repaired. Looks like just a little bit of silicone will do there. But I always like to start outside first. I like to walk around the house and make sure that the stuff on the outside gets addressed. Looks like this piece of siding, no, just needs to be pushed back up in there. Some of the fence in the back needs to be repaired. Definitely a lot of these trees that are growing on the outside will need to be cut back. But that's just for aesthetics, just for cosmetic looks. So take that into consideration, as well as whenever you pull up, you look at what the neighbor's house looks like. Is there any trash in the yard that you can go ahead and pick up and in 5 minutes make it look nicer? They take care of their yard pretty good. And the tenant that moved out here had left some stuff, and supposedly there's someone supposed to be coming to pick it up. So we'll see. If not, we'll end up taking care of it. But as far as the street goes, it's a good looking street and not a lot of trash that I see. So I think the only trash that's here is the stuff that she left. So we'll go around the other side and check and see what it needs. But really looking for anything that just catches the eye, anything that an inspector would pick up on to say that it needs to be addressed. This gate looks like it's seen its last day, so we'll probably have to put a new gate here. Definitely clean up this area back here. Sometimes the less bushes and shrubs, the better. But it looks like we'll be able to just trim most of this stuff up to make it look nice. Pretty small backyard, so it's not going to need a lot of money there. But you can see the shingles. There's a couple of shingles that need to be repaired, as well as right here. There's actually quite a few. So we'll go to ABC Supply with one of these shingles that are missing right here and take it with me and get a match. That's what I found to be the best. But this will just need to be pressure washed, picked up the trash, and like I said, we'll probably be able to keep a lot of the stuff in this particular house because we have rehabbed it before, and we will it's been about 3 years, but as long as we clean it up and put a new light bulb in there, all these lights are good to stay. All right, entering the house, you notice the smell So I'm thinking on a paint job in here, definitely, because of all the imperfections in the walls. The paint's real tired, but the smell itself makes it to be where it's about, it'll need a coat of primer, which is like a shellac primer to get rid of the smell, and then 2 coats of finish paint. So I know that right there it's going to be about $1.75 a square foot for paint. These cabinets as well will need to be painted, so I can try to throw that in there whenever I make my labor agreement. I know that it's going to need a new stove. It's going to need a new dishwasher, and these are all things that I'm typically writing down, but I'll go back and write them all down after this. Looks like the countertops are good to stay. The sink is okay to stay. We'll just need to buff it up real good and re-silicone it, reseal it, check all the water and everything underneath it. Probably put some new hardware there, new cabinet hardware. The doors look fine in here. The shelving looks fine. I think just a really good paint job will really do the trick here. But first, we want to take up all this floor. You can see the marks in the floor. This is an older style floor that we used to use. Now we do something similar, but it's more in the gray family. So we'll pull all this up, clean up, and this is a slab foundation, so we'll clean up the foundation real good, pull all the carpet up, and go back with some new floor covering. That'll be post paint, however. So all this will get prepped real good, get painted. All the doors look good. I always check every one to make sure there's no holes in it anywhere. All the hardware that's here looks like it can be taken off, put in a bucket of bleach, cleaned, and then put back on after paint. The shelving is also good, so we'll be able to just leave that on and paint the walls. All of the inside of the closets and the ceiling is the same color. It's a flat white, so it doesn't matter if you get it on the shelves. Now this hot water heater looks to be decently new. It's not leaking. Inspector will require us to cover up this Romex cable, so this will need to be put in some sort of weather tight stripping. So we'll need to do that. These are little things that I would just mark on here to make sure that we account for everything that needs to be done to this house, so we don't have to come back multiple times. All the light fixtures look good. Just take them down, clean them up, put new bulbs in them. They're good to go. Vanity tops look good. We'll need to cut this out and put new silicone sealant around there. All the mirrors look good. What we will do is paint this the same gray as the kitchen cabinets. This toilet looks like it could probably be replaced, so we'll replace this toilet. Bathtub looks good, just to clean. I don't see any cracks. I always check for cracks in the bottom of here because that's an indicator. Now here is a worn spot, so what we'll need to do is get some epoxy. It's like a 2-part epoxy acrylic, and we'll put that down and buff it out. But it should be fine. We won't have to replace this. Everything else in here looks pretty square. All these, of course, will come off. Light switches and stuff. Any plugs that look discolored, like that one right there, will get changed out with brand new ones. Any hinges. What I want to do is whenever we take these off, we'll go ahead and replace the hinges because they're just old, and I think they were probably painted before. Now this door has a piece in it that's messing up, so you just want to check every part of the house. We'll need to replace this. It looks like a 24-inch door, single bore. So these things I'll have to just write down and account for, but you want to pretty much touch everything whenever you go through a house to check and see what it needs to make sure you're not missing something. We'll need new door stops. Some of these door stops are missing the heads, and it's best to just go ahead and get new ones. If you got ones that have the heads on them, it's fine to keep. Just try and get the same kind whenever you go back and put new ones there so nothing's mismatched. I like to check all of the windows for any fogging or any cracking around the seal to see if it needs anything. All these windows look pretty good here. As far as this master bathroom goes, same thing here. We'll paint this, we'll caulk this around this side, silicone it real good. And this bathtub looks like it's going to need a new drain in here. So this is what happens typically. Most of the time this gets rotted out. So you just pull it out and put a new one in. All this will stay. We'll just clean it all up real good and it'll look like new. This toilet is a new toilet, so no need to change that out. And we will change the floor covering out in here. I want everything to match the same floor covering, especially if you can see it from here and here. If it's within eyesight, I think it needs to be changed. These are just little things that kind of matter to our buyers, especially whenever we're selling a house. So if you heard that, that means we need a new battery in our smoke detector. So little things like that account for a new 9-volt battery in there. This is a smaller house. It's only 1,400 square foot, so there's not much to see here. But from everything that I can see, it looks, just ballparking, looks like it's going to be about a $12,000 rehab. We'll probably have about $8,500 in the labor price, maybe $9,000 in the labor price, and then about $3,000 in the materials, $3,000 in the materials. So this one should take about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks to do, and it'll be ready for a new owner. So this storm door, if you see storm doors like this means that you're in a troubled area. So I want to go ahead and take this off. Really highlights the front door as well. This front door will need to be painted, patched again, and painted. So little things like that. This is the most important area whenever a new homeowner comes to check out whether they want to live here or not. Is they're coming to the front door and they look around to see if this is somewhere that they want to spend some time. So we really want to make sure everything looks good. I always check the posts and anything around the bottom. Is this rotted out? It looks like it's going to need some new nails and some fresh paint on this outside posts. But other than that, it's a good little house, and I think it should go quick. So just a quick video. Hopefully I can get you another one on another house pretty soon. So thanks a lot.